Welcome back to your latest industry recap. Today is a mammoth one, so please make sure you're staying tuned. Firstly, Delta has warned, not for the first time I'll admit, that it may be forced to cancel orders and suspend purchasing aircraft from foreign manufacturers. This would include Airbus. As political tensions persist as a threat across the industry, Delta has expressed its concerns about what this would mean for importing goods. The ramifications of such a decision would be colossal, especially for Airbus, which has successfully secured a significant portion of new purchases from the major US carrier. Shared via a US Commerce Department filing, national tariffs are really what remain a concern. Their impact on the delivery of really looking into new Airbus planes when we know they are crucial for renewal of the fleet and expanding the network in the future at Delta. Suppose, for example, Delta does not have the required aircraft for reasons beyond its control. In that case, it risks losing market share and the ability to operate its network in an adequate manner, leading to financial and operational harm. Unfortunately, while these discussions continue to fluctuate in nature and are not finalized, there remains a great deal of importance in them being brought up by airlines, as they must have plans in place in the event of a worst-case scenario. For Delta, if the situation were to worsen, it would be forced to reconsider its reliance on Airbus as a plane maker. That is absolutely not because of the quality or the products that are being produced, but rather because of the challenges that would arise in operating and taking delivery of these planes. The challenges faced by Delta and Airbus, among other plane makers, have been a hot topic of discussion for several months now, given the complex situation unfolding and the nature of it changing at a moment's notice. For Delta, as part of its ongoing renewal of fleet, they've placed greater reliance on Airbus, it must be said, while the only Boeing series they've committed to is the 737 MAX. In mid-February, Airbus's CEO said that proposed tariffs would disrupt their operations across the United States, and as a result, force it to place priorities elsewhere. Airbus confirmed that airlines worldwide are eager to take delivery of new-gen planes, unsurprisingly, from their portfolio, and it's with this eagerness and uncertainty in the US that the adjustment of their delivery schedule is something they may be forced to act on. In essence, if tariffs were to worsen, well, the proposed changes would expedite deliveries to customers, leaving some airlines struggling to keep up. And yes, I'm focusing in on customers within the United States. For the moment, some deliveries to the US have been conducted through Japan, such as those of Delta jets, which have been fascinating to follow, and it's certainly a watch this space type of thing. Over to the next news, and that sits with Boom Supersonic, who have received significant developments following the signing of an executive order in the United States. A regulation imposed in 1973 surrounding supersonic speed has been lifted. This regulation prevented the real widespread adoption, many would argue, of the Concorde from flying over the country above the speed of sound and creating a sonic boom. Now, as part of the newest regulation, this will be possible as long as the aircraft does not produce an audible sonic boom, changing the game for Boom Supersonic and obviously any other prospective endeavor. Issued by Donald Trump, the relaxation of these restrictions now puts pressure on the hands of the Federal Aviation Administration. The governing regulator must now develop a new regulation that establishes an acceptable standard. For what that is yet to be determined fully. The administration believes this is a step in the right direction, as in the past decades, restrictive regulations have hindered advancements of flight that potentially could have been achieved as technology has only developed. By creating new standards, the government believes that fresh opportunities will emerge for the development of supersonic technologies, enabling not just faster, but also much more efficient travel. Boom Supersonic has sparked a lot of industry and global discussions, really hoping to return supersonic flight to our industry, and that'll be achieved, if possible, through their full-scale Overture build. The company has been making very diligent progress with the certification of its own demonstrator in the XB-1, which, despite delays, was still able to operate its first flight and achieve supersonic speeds, alongside many other important revelations too. These studies have been necessary in building upon and moving towards the eventual production of that all-important full-scale Overture. Ultimately, while the relaxation of long-standing restrictions does spell good news for many, the news most directly affects Boom Supersonic, which is arguably the most advanced and definitely the most published in its attempts to bring back supersonic flight. Overture, as it's known, while will have a modest capacity and won't fly as fast as Concorde, is still expected to do so with significantly better efficiency, thanks to that development of the very technologies I continue to speak of. So the relaxing of restrictions opens up the possibility for more uses, alongside the desire for more customers to back this project if they believe it will be worth the investment. Boom Supersonic has already received the backing from the likes of United Airlines and American Airlines. Still, time will tell if it can really overcome the many other obstacles that stand in its way from becoming a sustainable manufacturer with a product that can be adopted on a global scale. But all power to Boom Supersonic. I think as aviation enthusiasts, we all love innovation and want to see a lot more of it. Over to the final story, and Airbus has published its May results, which paint a pretty interesting picture, and that is one of further drops. They delivered 51 planes in May, a 4% decrease from the same month in the previous year. With the latest figures, the year-round total has reached 243 aircraft, with just June remaining before the halfway point of the year is passed. The latest performance also follows 56 planes delivered in April, so that represented a 8% drop from the figure in March, and now we've seen another drop. Airbus has, it must be said, yet to adjust its guidance, which is the delivery of 820 commercial airplanes by the end of 2025. Unfortunately for now, Airbus to reach this figure based on its performances so far, a massive change would need to occur, and some would say the odds are stacked against it. Maybe that's a position it would like to be in terms of trying to prove people wrong, but you'd definitely say that the position it would prefer to be in was one more of greater stability, where it truly was already well on its way to hitting 820. See, even before they posted their May figures, there were doubts surrounding the ability to hit that target, with most feeling it would be too steep given how the year has started. The target of 820 also, remember, represented a jump in their targets for 2024. They didn't also meet those targets last year either, or in the years before, due to the complications they experienced. 2025 has been yet another intriguing year for them. Improvements were to be expected across the business before the commencement of the 12 months, and there's certainly been visible improvement to a certain extent, but there's also been setbacks that were maybe not expected to have lasted as long as they have done so. Struggles certainly stemming from a supply chain perspective. Don't worry, I'm sick of saying this as well, but it is something that's very true. Ranges from fuselage parts to seating to engines and so much more, and it's forced delivery timeframes to be blown out. It's forced their ability to complete aircraft on time also to not take place, and it means their forecasting just doesn't seem to be fully accurate. But then again, whose forecasting is really accurate at all nowadays? It seems to be a common theme, not just in our industry, but in many others as well. Only in the last 2 weeks did the manufacturer confirm that deliveries this year were already coming with multi-month delays, and they didn't expect the challenges to ease anytime soon, stretching at least into the next couple of years. So these challenges on the production floor aside, and even considering the recent political tensions emerging from the United States, means they do have to rethink their approach, smoothing out lots of issues if they are to stand any chance at really enjoying the remainder of the year. Thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you tomorrow for your next industry recap.
And we'll fly.